Hello, you gorgeous, gorgeous people of the internet, and welcome to another video. I have genuinely missed you guys so much, and I can already tell that today is going to be a good day and that this video is going to be a good video because I have a good hair day. I'm genuinely the worst person at hairstyles, but to be honest, I don't think I have been too shabby. Like, obviously I have to see how it looks in the camera, but today we'll be talking about a more serious topic, so I gotta stop my enthusiastic tone. We'll be talking about breakups, and if you are going through a breakup right now and you are watching this video for some help, just know that I genuinely get you, whether it is a relationship breakup or a friendship breakup. I have been through both of them, and I genuinely get how you're feeling. I'm also a more emotional person myself, so I get really some sort of, I don't want to say depressed, but I kind of lack of joy. I feel really tired and I'm just grieving. I'm idolizing this person in my head, and especially when in the friendship or relationship I was unhappy while I was in there during the relationship, but as soon as that person visibly started to distance themselves first, I immediately took it personal and I immediately got like so grievy and so desperate in my case. So I genuinely get how you're feeling. I get when you're being sad. I get when you feel like everyone else is okay and everyone else got over their boyfriend, girlfriend, friendship first and way quicker than you did, and you're still there, you're still sad, and you feel like you are that there may be something wrong with you. And I'm just here to tell you that this is not true. And coming from a person that has difficulties with breakups and with grieving and with dealing with breakups myself, this video is about how to get over a breakup from my perspective, from the perspective of a very emotional person. And first of all, this is a short disclaimer. A breakup is a breakup, and I don't care what your friends say or what society says or what anyone says. Like, literally, I see people getting judged so much because their relationship wasn't considered as a relationship. Like, honestly, I don't care if you have been dating for decades, years, only a few months, a few days, or maybe if you haven't even been dating, maybe you have been just in a situationship, or maybe you had like a huge crush on that person for multiple years and that person never seemed to notice you, and you finally decided to let go of them, and that has been hurting you. Like, I literally see people getting shamed so often because, for example, in situationships where people actively often get manipulated, people say, oh yeah, but you knew that this person had a problem with commitment, or you knew right from the start that this person wasn't serious about you. Like, why are you sad now? Or, for example, you haven't even been properly dating. Like, why can't you just move on? Or I have been in a relationship for multiple years and I was immediately over it. So why are you after months still stuck there? And I hate when people are saying this, especially because it is scientifically proven that oftentimes we are more sad and more grievy about short relationships. Like, if we have a situationship for 3 months, we might be more heartbroken than if we have a proper relationship for 3 years, because when you only have like a loose, brief thing, you get the potential of the person. Like, you can imagine hypothetical scenarios on where these people are amazing and you have the best relationship ever. But if you have been with a person for multiple years, for a long time, you know the real them. And in a lot of cases, people also get over the relationship while they are in the relationship. So whenever they break up, they live their life normally because they have processed it during the relationship. So I don't care what people are saying. Like, literally, if you are sad, then you are sad, and I literally don't care what other people are saying, and you shouldn't either. And the worst thing literally that you can do to yourself is to look at other people and be like, oh my god, but they have been in a relationship way longer than I did. Like, how are they over so quickly? Is there something wrong with me? No, there's nothing wrong with you. Every person is just different. Every person has a different nervous system. Every person thinks differently, grieves differently. So literally, self-comparison while getting over someone is genuinely the worst thing and you can do to yourself. Secondly, ask yourself, is it really them or is it just your ego? Like, you kind of oftentimes, I'm just guessing, probably try to convince yourself that you're heartbroken, but oftentimes your ego is the thing that is actually being broken. As I said from before, I have been in friendships, relationships where I have been deeply unhappy. Like, I was literally hoping for them to break up because I oftentimes, when I was really young, didn't want to break their heart. But as soon as they broke up with me, I took it personal. I thought that I was being unworthy of love, that after that no one is going to love me again. And oftentimes, for example, if it has been a long-term relationship, they know the core of you, they know who you are, with like probably better than anyone else besides yourself. So when that person breaks up, it hits our core. We think that we're, as I said, that we're not being able to get loved like this ever again. We don't think that we're worthy of anything else, and especially evolutionary, it makes a lot of sense because social rejection means, like, could possibly mean that we're dying back in like ages where humans weren't even fully developed as we are now. So oftentimes this hits you because of your ego. Like, oftentimes this person hasn't been as amazing and as perfect as you idolize them to be, but oftentimes when we get broken up with, we think that something is wrong with us, and so we chase after that person to prove to ourselves that we are still lovable. We're like, oh my god, if that person notices me again, if he is like super regretful, if she like texts me and asks me to get back together because she's regretting it so much, then I am lovable again and I prove to myself that people are wanting me still. But that is not the solution to the problems. And oftentimes just ask yourself if it's actually that person or if you actually just miss being loved, because that is also a thing. If you have been loved for a long time and that kind of attachment or appreciation that comes with it is lost, then oftentimes you can miss just being loved by another person, or you can miss being in a relationship. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that person was perfect for you and that you miss that person in particular. And also, thirdly, your nervous system. Oftentimes you can't process the breakup, or you can't, like, you oftentimes lose the ability to think rationally about it in the last, like in the first days or even weeks, months. I don't know how long it takes for you after breakup. Oftentimes we can't think rationally because our nervous system has to cope. Our nervous system has to teach themselves. Like, we basically, after breakup, we have to teach ourselves on how to love again. Our brain needs to start from zero again and teach how to love. And that is a crazy difficult thing. And especially when we lose a person that has been really important to us, a person that has been there with us for our entire lifetime or for a really long time, that knows us better than anyone else. In our brain, the same areas are activated than pain. So for our brain, it is just pain. Even though we are not physically hurt, our brain will take it like that. And that is why it hurts so immensely much, because when you break a bone, you get medication that will numb you. It will just like hurt for like 6 weeks and then it will grow back together. But a breakup there is no exact date on when you will say, oh my god, then you'll be over that person, or then it's all gone and all healed. And your nervous system, depending on who you are, because everyone has an individual nervous system, needs time to cope, needs time to sort themselves. And oftentimes our body and our brain needs sadness to relax. With sadness, our neurons relax. And this is also why I would advise you, if you need to be sad, then please be sad, but and be sad for as long as you need, but please don't make it a lifestyle, because we often get comfortable with things that are not good for us. But allow the sadness and allow yourself to literally feel, because that is what will get you further. And speaking of nervous system, to prove again that it is a way bigger thing than you think it is, and that you shouldn't put yourself down for it, is a lot of hormonal changes come with it, especially with the reward system, with dopamine. When we get broken up with, we have a lower level of dopamine. Dopamine is kind of the happiness hormone, if you can say. So you lack of joy, you lack of excitement, and maybe your life feels boring to you, you feel really numb. And that is also why in a lot of cases, people that suffer from a breakup often get depressed during that time, because the things that they used to love, like engaging in a certain hobby, working out, or meeting up with friends, these things don't bring as much excitement anymore as they used to do. So this is because the dopamine drops, and also cortisol increases, so the stress hormone. You get way more nervous, you get way more anxiety and stressed about things, which also brings down your mood. Also, oxytocin drops, and oxytocin is known as the motherhood hormone. At least in Germany we call it the motherhood hormone, and this kind of creates a sense of safety, a sense of belonging. And that also, as I said, goes decreasingly lower whenever you suffer from a breakup. You feel like you feel unsafe, you feel like you don't belong anymore, you also can lack of happiness because of that. So these are huge things. And lastly, you have imbalances in serotonin. They don't have to be necessarily higher or lower, they are just imbalanced. And that basically can lead to obsessive thinking, to overthinking. So our body goes through a lot. So we can't expect ourselves to think rationally right after that, and to evaluate on the person being bad, or the person also having to mess up, or the reasons that probably also led through the breakup on your side. We can't think rationally about them, because our brain needs to sort itself, our brain needs to calm down, and that is obviously a lot. So oftentimes we can't think rationally, and especially if it has been a really unhappy relationship, then the idolizing can get even stronger in some cases, because you and your brain isn't ready to face the realness of the person again. And even if it has been a really happy relationship, our brain needs to teach us love again. So oftentimes when we suffer from a breakup, we can't just go back to normal, we can't just live our life like we did. We just need to calm down, and oftentimes these could be reasons why we feel that way that we feel. And also, moving on, don't try to make that person jealous, literally. I think that that is kind of a huge mistake that a lot of people make, including myself. I also made these mistakes, because you often think, oh yeah, I'm just going to post myself on Instagram, and where I'm basically having loads of fun, where I'm partying, maybe where I even wear revealing clothes, so that they know that I'm so hot, and that they regret it, and that they can see how pretty I am and how exciting and fun my personality is. Listen, they know that you're hot. they know that you're beautiful. Like literally, I don't need to see you to know that you are literally a gorgeous human being. They know that you're intelligent. Like they have chosen to leave you for another reason, and that is not your looks or your intelligence or your personality. So don't try to go onto Instagram and social medias or whatever, or don't do any drunk texting or something like that, so that they'll realize what they have lost. Trust me, they will realize what they have lost eventually, but then you'll be over them and it's going to be too late. So don't try to go onto anywhere and prove to them how lovable you are, because that is first of all extremely low vibrational, and you shouldn't prove your love to anyone in the first place. They either decide to love you or they are not worthy of that. Like literally, that's how it is, and that is how everyone should think. And also think about another thing. Because when it comes to idolizing is a huge thing. It genuinely used to be my favorite hobby in these times, but literally, what did this person ever do that was above the bare minimum? Like literally, pull down a list, a sheet of paper, and right now I dare you to write down 5 things that they ever did throughout the entire relationship that was above the bare minimum. And no, buying you flowers is the bare minimum, and no, planning a date is also the bare minimum, because that is what you sometimes do in a relationship. Literally sit down and think about one singular thing that this person actually did that actually put effort in. And oftentimes you probably can't even name down 2. Maybe you come up with 1 thing, but I think a lot of people won't even reach the number 5. And I have friends, they have been in a relationship for like a year or even longer, and their boyfriends have never bought them flowers. And literally, oftentimes we idolize that person, but what have they actually done that leads to idolization? And oftentimes we take things that are so that aren't even bare minimum, that are just being part of being a normal human. Like literally, oftentimes I see people idolizing, oh, he's so nice, and he like holds up the door for me, or he is nice to my friends, and he like is funny. These things are just part of being a human. Like literally, if you're not nice to people, if someone is not being nice to you, or if someone is finally being nice to you, you should not idolize that. That is just normal. So just basically genuinely sit down and think about something that they actually did. What did they actually do? Like literally, girl, just think about it, and I can guarantee you it probably won't even be that high. Hot take, but I think that. I also believe that a person that is meant for you, I don't know if you believe in true love, in the one, or in soulmates, and even if you don't, I don't think that a person that is meant to stay with me for the rest of my life, that I'm literally meant to share a grave with, would reject me. That would tell me, oh yeah, your personality isn't enough for me, or you're too much for me. I don't think a person that is supposed to be my person would leave me like that, or even would do the things that they might have done in your case to me. Like, I genuinely don't think that's happening. Like, and oftentimes, don't get me wrong, I don't think that exes can't be together after a breakup. Oftentimes it's just not the right time, and you two need to evolve and meet again in another time, and then it can be a really happy relationship. But oftentimes I think that when a person visibly decides to walk away, that is not your person. I don't believe that my love of my life would have done that to me. I don't think that is a scenario that ever would be happening with my person. So just think about that. And yeah, And rejection is redirection. Things are not meant to harm you. When somebody breaks up with you, this is not to be there that you're suffering. This is not there that you're being sad. This is meant to guide you into another direction. Like, let's just say you're driving with a car and you take a turn, like, and you have the navigation, you have Google Maps on, it will give you another route. Like, literally, you will just meet another person and it will be the best thing ever for you. Or maybe you need some time, but oftentimes I don't actually believe that you should be going back to your ex. Obviously, in some cases it works out fine, but I feel like if that person, like, I feel like you should give it a new chance, because by the end of the day, a zebra doesn't change its stripes. Obviously, people can do stuff to improve. People can, due to communication, evolve and be a better partner for you. But oftentimes, I believe that the core of who this person is, it can't be changed. And the core, you just have to live with that and think about their core and think if you can actually do that for the rest of your life. That is the question. I personally can't do that with friendships and ex people from my life. Like, literally, I can never do that. But yeah, just keep that also in mind. And speaking about icked out, literally somebody visibly deciding, oh, I'm not going to, you're not good enough for me, or somebody just like deciding of like, yeah, I want to live my life without you. I think my life is better without you. Obviously, me saying that probably sounds really harsh and is probably really hurtful, so I'm sorry. But someone literally, if that person that you love, that person that you spend such a long time with, or even not, but that person sitting in front of you saying, oh yeah, I think my life is better without you. First of all, as I said, your love of your life would never do that to you. And second of all, it should get you icked out, because you should know how amazing of a person you are. You should know that you are a baddie and that they have lost something big. Like, literally. So now whenever a friend decides to walk away from me, which they can do, obviously, you're not torn to me, you're not bonded with me, please live your life, girl. But it should ick you out. And for me, it icks me out. I'm like, okay, if I'm not good enough for you, then I don't want to have anything to do with you, because why would I be abusing myself like that? You should tell yourself that. And especially like years after, genuinely, my favorite activity of the day is to literally walk down the streets or go into like a public place, a coffee shop or whatever, and accidentally bump into them, because you often are still friendly with each other. You have like a brief conversation, and after years, while you're not suffering anymore, you're not grieving, you meet that person again and you realize that they are exactly where they have been when you last left them, and you will get icked out. Like, literally, if you bump into an ex or a person that probably that never was your ex but that you really like, if you bump into them years after, you often think like, why was I so obsessed with them? Like, what was I even doing? And I promise you that ick is literally going to happen. You just need to give it a little bit of weight. And personally, this is a really hot take and a lot of people won't agree with me, but I personally love breakups so much. They're, in my opinion, the best thing that can literally happen to you, because they redirect you, they make you harder. Like, literally, a post-relationship break, sorry, can't talk, but a post-relationship glow up is literally crazy. It works like crazy. Nothing makes you glow up and evolve and grow more than a breakup. Literally, I have had to go through shitty friendships. I have had to go through shitty relationships or dating, whatever, to get me to what I actually want. I wouldn't have known this. And even with my own behavior, this demon of myself would have came out with literally any person. But you sometimes need past experiences for you to know on how to behave properly, for you to know of what you actually want in a relationship. Like, literally, these things are so important, and oftentimes we need to let go of a person for the future to get something better. So that is the end of the video, but I do love breakups. They hurt a lot in between, like during it they hurt a lot and we're like, why is this happening to me? But afterwards, mwah, I genuinely love them so much. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you somehow, and thank you so much for watching through all of this. And literally, I am with you. I have you in my heart. I'm literally knowing how you feel right now, and it is shit, and I get it. And obviously for me it is easy to sit in front of a camera and say these things because I don't suffer from a breakup right now. But literally, you will get over it, and sooner or later you will realize that it was the best thing that could ever happen to you, and that you are actually way more of a baddie than you think you are. So I love you and I wish you the best. Bye bye.